think we're going to live in a world where there are going to be hundreds of millions of billions of different AI agents, eventually probably more AI agents than there are people in the world. A lot of what we're focused on is giving every creator and every small business the ability to create AI agents for themselves, making it so that every person on our platforms can create their own AI agents that they want to interact with. And if you think about it, these are just huge spaces, right? So there are hundreds of millions of small businesses in the world. And one of the things that I think is really important is basically making it so with a relatively small amount of work, a business can basically, a few taps, stand up an AI agent for themselves that can do customer support, sales, communicate with all their people, all their customers. I think that every business in the future, just like they have an email address and a website and a social media presence today, I think every business is going to have an AI agent that their customers can talk to in the future. I think we're going to live.
It's pretty telling. Again, I think we've all felt it. I think we're all going to have agents. I have one already. Again, they'll be absolutely everywhere. And then an interesting little tidbit from today, but we learned that Elon Musk look, we know they're into AI. They have Grok. And I think they're going the next level deeper here. They've been talking, it was reported just today, with the Virtuals team. And I think Saigar himself was meeting with people from X. So they very specifically are looking to get into this AI agent ecosystem, the agentic ecosystem, somehow, some way. It's unavoidable. It's coming. I'm here for it, man. Randy, I got to imagine you agree with everything we heard from Zuckerberg there, right?
I do. But I would say what has me more excited and interested, I guess, than what he would have said would be the autonomous portion of this. So he said, yeah, the agents are going to do all of these different things for humans. But what about when they start thinking for themselves? What about when they've got like their own wallet and they're the only ones that know the private key and they've got a little bit of crypto to work with and they start talking to other agents and collaborating? I think that's what's got me more excited than just AI and agents and bots doing things for humans. So I think, and I think too, like that's why we've seen this, I don't know what hype cycle #1 for AI agents in Web3. It's because of that.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean that's what it felt like was hype cycle #1 of probably I think a bigger one to come, but at the very least, just more of those cycles to come.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. We have. Well, I want to be specific with it. There's a lot of building going on in the AI space in the Slam family, and guys, of course, we want to keep you updated on that stuff. So it's probably also good while we set up, why we think it's going to be so big and other people who see it, setting this up with what we're doing in the space. And believe me, we're going to be at the forefront of this from here going forward. And a lot of people don't know, we have been building in AI for the past, let's say, year and a half or so, maybe more. You could say we're not new to the AI stuff. But yeah, Randy, maybe you could give a little overview on what's coming, what's been going on in this Slam ecosystem.
God, I love that logo.
It's so good.
The person on our team, I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not, but what's that?
Say her name.
Yeah, Jenny, like that does our graphics. Like, just I'd love this. The vibe we have going with SlamAI and our agents. She's just she's killing it. I don't, maybe what might be helpful, because I know we've likely got some people tuning in that maybe aren't as familiar with the overall AI landscape. So maybe I'll set up a couple things. I heard you mention Virtuals a minute ago. So maybe like the state of where we're at 101, and then where SlamAI plugs in. So the state of where we're at, like Hudah mentioned Virtuals. If to use an analogy, and this is not apples to apples, but if you're just getting into this, think of Virtuals as like the iOS of agentic platforms. So in in mobile platforms, you have iOS and Android. So the juggernauts, at least at this point, that could change, are the iOS would be virtuals, and the Android, the more open source, would be the ELIZA platform that's being built by the team, and it's decentralized at this point behind AI 16Z. So you've got like these two huge players that are building platforms. There's others, but these are clearly the leaders that are allowing platforms for creators to come in and build cool shit. Where do we fit in? So where we fit in, think of us in that same analogy as like, and again, this isn't perfect, but we're going to be like, I don't know, like the Comcast, like the broadband, like the data pipeline that feeds all of these agents. Like that's us. That's SlamAI. Because these agents need, they need a couple things. Number one, they need everything that OpenAI is doing that is being done with the more open source Llama, like all of the cool AI stuff. Clearly they need that. Now we have DeepSeek. So they need that. But for agents to truly thrive and to do especially Web3 agents, to thrive and to do all the things they're promised to do, they need data. And not just data they were trained on, like the GPT 4.0 model, I think, was from August of 2024. So it's a snapshot of what it knew at that point. It's not going to know anything new unless it can go retrieve that. And even then, what it was trained on, it's nothing. It knows like blockchain data, but it doesn't know the types of, or not the types, but the breadth of data that someone like us in the Web3 data space has. So our job in SlamAI, and we can describe the difference between CryptoSlam and SlamAI in a minute, but our job through SlamAI is to make the CryptoSlam data, which we feel and know is quite valuable, easily and instantly accessible to developers, humans, and this is where it gets really fun, other AI agents.
I'm throwing this on the screen too, just so people have, I don't know, like a reference point, but we're talking about data. People do know CryptoSlam, but they know CryptoSlam for NFT data. And it was really, dude, I love seeing you on Coffee with Captain this morning. Those guys are awesome. I've been a fan of them for a long time, but they're probably in that crowd of people who know CryptoSlam, again, NFT data, and didn't realize that it's everything on chain. It's everything. And even if it's not here, I think I heard you say on the back end, it's there. It's all of it. And that's the kind of data that these agents need. To your point, these snapshots, we're excited about agents that are going to be trading, right? I am. I know people who are trading off of certain agents' data right now, but most of them, in fact, I think probably all of them are running off of, like you said, data that maybe at this point is months old, and some of them maybe a year old, maybe longer. Comprehensive data that's live, I think, is a game changer. And I know it's a game changer. And so that's just to give a little context for people watching what the data actually is and how much it matters for it to be live. So there is a little sneak peek at the data that is behind the scenes, some of it, but again, much more than NFT data.
Yeah, like CryptoSlam's clearly, if you're not familiar, we were the first. I was so lucky with how early we got in. The first, and it's still like to think the leading NFT data aggregator from a multi-chain perspective, and that's been great. But clearly, NFTs have been our specialty from the beginning. But I say that, but like, why CryptoSlam works and why it was, why we were able to build up the following and why it was super useful. It wasn't just showing data. Like, what does data even mean? Like, that can be 50 million different things, like what data means. Well, what we do is we're really, really good at aggregations. So it may sound nerdy, but it's really important. Like, where do you go? If you want to know what was the NFT volume like across the entire planet over the last 24 hours or over the last hour, all time, 7 days, like these types of aggregations, where do you go for that? Like, you can't put that into ChatGPT and have it compute, and you can't go query like an Etherscan API or even an OpenSea API. You can't do that.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I do this almost on a daily basis. I do go to ChatGPT. I write a lot about NFT data and crypto markets, and I do go to ChatGPT almost every day, and I try. I'm waiting to see if and when it's ever updated where it can tap into live data. We get all these updates from ChatGPT that, hey, it can now search the web. So I'm like, hey, what was the top 5 NFT collections today? What was whatever? It can't do it. I don't know if it'll ever do it, but I know right now it can't.
Yeah, well, it certainly is not going to compute it on its own. So can it retrieve it from a place like CryptoSlam? Sure. But to actually come up with those numbers in the first place, you need data aggregation specialists. And that's CryptoSlam. From an NFT perspective, you had BaseVision up there. Base, if you look at that, and the data on this thing is a hell of a lot farther along than the UX is. The UX, it's come a long ways, but it's clearly not the end product. But the obsessive, complete coverage that we always envisioned for aggregations across an entire blockchain, it's on these SlamVision domains that we have indexed. So why does that matter? Well, that matters if you are an AI agent and you're looking to do trading, or you want to know smart wallets, or you want to know a specific wallet, or you want to do trend analysis. The sky is the limit with what these agents might want to know. Some of that you could probably get from a base scan API, but the really, really good stuff, what we like to call siloed stuff, you can't. So to be truly smart, and you'll see that like in our tagline, SlamAI, the smartest damn agents in Web3, this is why. It's that is siloed. You can't get that anywhere else. The agents need it. That's base chain, which is clearly huge and a big part of Web3 right now. But there's a lot of other chains besides base, and we've either got them already or we will have them indexed soon.